Lost Toss cometh MC, most successful player on the face of the planet. He'll be playing in our league later this week, but of course we've got to get into aLive versus MorroW. If we had to make a prediction, Kev, who would you go with?
I'm not sure if this comes to you as a surprise or not, but I'm actually going to think that I actually thought I had to make the predictions before the show, and I actually think that MorroW is going to take it today. MorroW is in 0-2 right now, Ben, in the NASL Season 4, and that's very uncharacteristic for MorroW, as MorroW normally always performs well at the NASL. I believe Season 1 he made it to the offline finals, or at least to the playoffs, but I believe he was offline finals. Season 2 he definitely made it to the offline finals, where he even took out Mana back then 3-0 in the first round, a great series, and then went on to lose against Torzane. And in Season 3 he almost made it to the offline finals. He just lost in the playoffs against BCQD, or wildcard matches I should say, but that's basically the first round of the playoffs. But in general, Ben, we both know that MorroW is a player who really prepares for his NASL games, does research on his opponents. So seeing him 0-2 feels weird. Seeing him 0-3 is something I can imagine. Then again, seeing aLive 0-3, as aLive currently holds an 0-2 record in the league as well, seems odd too. Long answer to a short question. I still think MorroW is going to take it.
Yeah, so it's a little bit tougher to call for me, Kevin. I think I do think MorroW is a great foreign Zerg player, but I also know he's been playing quite a bit of Heart of the Swarm.
Yes, a lot of Heart of the Swarm.
That does worry me some. That having been said, I'm also going to go with MorroW if for no other reason than I'm down 0-2. I can't let you get any further ahead of me today.
But also MorroW, I mean, aLive is 0-2 in this season as well. If you guys wonder how did that happen, aLive lost against Dong Regu in the first week 2-1. Of course, there's absolutely no shame in that. Last week he lost, perhaps rather surprisingly. Wow, this is so smart. Did aLive not see that comment? Oh my god, MorroW. How cool is this, man? He just sends out 2 SCVs, pretending there are Rexes going out. Look how crazy. Wow, this is, I mean, by aLive. This is so smart by aLive. And actually he's sending the SCVs back around. This is the sickest mind game. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my damn.
aLive just doing a little bit of, like you said, mind tricks here.
This
just
is
messing
really
with MorroW
sick.
a bit. In fact, aLive's opening is going to be Command Center first. MorroW now should be aware of it.
Wow, this is so smart. Have you ever seen that, man?
No, I really haven't. But, I mean, we've seen things like it with players sometimes putting down fake pylons saying, hey, I'm going to cannon rush you, better pull drones. I mean, things like that happen from time to time. But it's pretty seldom, and it's always cool to see a player do something cute like that and have it actually work.
The good thing for MorroW is, of course, the moment that those drones are idling over here, by the time that this hatchery finishes, they can immediately go back to mining. But still, aLive bought quite a bit of time for himself there, and obviously confused MorroW a hell of a lot. MorroW is right now going to find this barracks, and is wondering like, oh, what's going on, what's going on? The timing on that orbital is a little bit off. Come on, MorroW.
Yeah, he knows what's up at this point, just by seeing everything else. Factory now down.
We'll spot the timing.
Even if he doesn't know exactly where the command center is, MorroW's a good enough player that he knows there's a command center somewhere. Hellion follow-up for aLive. Might even be some elevator plays. We do see that reactor going up. Could be either of the two. I like this, certainly, but I mean, the thing that Terran players have been struggling with in Wings of Liberty these days, Kevin, is just how in the world do I harass a Zerg at this point in the development of the metagame?
Yeah, that is a problem for many people out there. Not just for Terrans, man. For other players as well. Heart of the Swarm is going to be a lot easier. Man, it's so nice to harass with Protoss in Heart of the Swarm. You have no idea how much fun it is.
You enjoying Recall?
Yes, I've been using it more and more. You know, before the action really kicks in, we of course have a little bit of time to talk about Heart of the Swarm, as today has been a day that root guys have been arriving in Southern California as well. If you guys wonder right now, what are the root guys doing over here? We got Major Vibe, TT1 and Cats all coming over to play in a $4,000 Heart of the Swarm NASL tournament, which is going to be super awesome. We're going to host that tournament Saturday and Sunday. Saturday everybody can watch, Sunday only the subscribers can watch. Ben, I'm super excited about that. And what I want to say is, you know, whenever you play Heart of the Swarm, and I've played a lot, just yesterday I played like 20 games Heart of the Swarm myself, there are still these moments when I was like, oh, I'm taking a bad fight, oh, okay, I'm trying to micro, oh, this fight sucks, and then by the time I have 3 units left, I was like, oh my god, I could have recalled. But it's just not really in my system yet, you know, it's one of those things that you really have to just hammer in and never forget about, but I just still forget about it sometimes.
You know, I'm finding the same thing when I play. I'll forget to use the new units, which is a real shame because the new units are so good and so fun.
Ben is like six-pooling everybody. Oh, I accidentally forgot to build the Viper.
I mean, I played a Heart of the Swarm game right before we went live, and it was against a meching Terran, and I went like Roachling with drop, and then at like the end of the game, I was like, oh, I could have made some Vipers, and that would have been really good against all these tanks. But at the end of the day, it didn't matter because Broodlord's still OP.
C3 Rex is going up, double reactor over here, so aLive is going to be able to produce a ton of Marines. He has quite a few Hellions on the map just controlling. He's not going to sacrifice those Hellions yet. MorroW has been doing an excellent job, by the way, at running up as hard as he can. Has 12 spare larvae right now, but I think he wants to make sure that he can
wants
actually
to confirm what he's up against before he commits that larva to anything. And in fact, he is going to make at least a handful of Zerglings here because he's not completely confident about his ability to defend this Hellion harass.
And he might be worried that the starport was a little bit quicker, that a medevac would be up, and in case those Hellions would be dropped in the main base, he would be in a lot of trouble if those were all drones. Getting a couple of links right now makes perfect sense for MorroW. Stefan.
Funny story kind of related to Heart of the Swarm, Kevin. I played a Wings of Liberty game last week that started off a lot like this. And I just, you know, in Heart of the Swarm, everybody's playing really passive because they want to get those new units out. In this particular Wings of Liberty game, a Terran player made that same kind of poke with Hellions, but also with about 8 Marines, and it just killed me because I was like, "What do I do? Oh crap!" I didn't remember to make units because I was in Heart of the Swarm mode.
You're like, Swarm host. Viper.
I don't know how to deal with these 3 Hellions and these 8 Marines. Oh my god! It was really sad. I was pretty mad after that game.
I was pretty mad yesterday as well a few times. Overseer is morphing over here for MorroW. MorroW is completely unaware, but of all these Marines making their way across the map, Stim is already. 2 medevacs are out as well. I believe even 3. No, mistaken. It's only 2 medevacs right now. This is pretty scary, but MorroW is going to need a lot more units than he currently has. Yeah,
it's enough of a force that he has to muster something. He's got some links popping out, but really he's going to have to pull the queens down. He's got to get some spine crawlers in position, but he just doesn't have it. This is a really scary push for MorroW. It's a bit of an anti-timing.
This looks terrible for MorroW. MorroW just doesn't have the units to deal with all these Tim Marines right now. It's a really sick timing by aLive. MorroW is losing a lot of drones. He's going to bring in his Zerglings right now, but it's a terrible position.
Pit is also in a very awkward position, and MorroW just GG's. aLive with the weird timing. Now I don't feel as bad about losing that game because that's basically the same push that killed me.
I mean, weird to some degree, yes, but MorroW is just playing incredibly greedy in this game.
He made one real critical mistake, and it's that he didn't have a Baneling Nest. And in this sort of era of, hey, I'm going to do a little bit of harass with Hellion Marine, yes, it's possible to hold it with just Zerglings if you get a good surround. Cloud Kingdom is not a map that really plays well to the I'm going to surround your army game. There's a lot of narrow chokes around the place, and it's these situations where Banelings really, really shine.
Do you think if MorroW wouldn't have lost so much mining time early on, do you think that would have made a difference?
I don't. I think that was a classic case of him just misinterpreting what he was playing against and not quite reacting to it perfectly. Kevin, before we move on to our next game, I do want to take just a moment to tip my hat to the maker of Cloud Kingdom, Super Uman or Super Oman, O-U-Man. I don't really know how to say his name, but a very talented map maker who's been making maps since the Brood War days. Recently retired from mapping. He was the maker of Cloud Kingdom. He was the maker of many successful Brood War maps.
Testbug as well.
Yes, you're right. Also the maker of Testbug, a map that was run on the MLG circuit for some time. So just want to sort of say goodbye to him and thank him for all of his awesome contributions. To the
he wrote a really awesome blog at Team Liquid. I think you guys should definitely check it out. If you have some spare time, read it. I thought it was a really cool story because it kind of gives you a little look like how we strive. We have our own goals. You know, we want to become better at casting or still at playing, and we work towards those goals. And it's really interesting to see things out of someone else's position who's so eager in making a really good map and feels that basically for him winning a tournament is seeing his tournament or seeing his map being used in a tournament. And I never really thought about it like that, but I thought it was a really really amazing story.
There's an entire community built around mapping. And to be completely honest, I would love to see more community support for those mappers because they do great things. And great maps do lead to great games of StarCraft, and that's how you grow the scene, by showing people great games. That last game brought to you guys by Twitch TV, as we are going to go ahead and jump into our next short break. There was another thing I wanted to say, but I have no idea what it was now. So I'm just going to say stick around. Game 2 when we get back.